Hello everyone, it's me Mahrose Technology Wali. You know that we do interview, but today our interview is going to be very interesting and special because we are doing interview with Dr. Lori Beth Brander, who is from America, and our interview will be in English, and so it's very be interesting. So first, let me introduce the who is she. You know that today we have the pleasure of speaking with an inspiring educator, Dr. Lori Beth Brander. She served as an grade computer science and sixth grade view instructor at Randall Middle School in technology and academic support. Dr. Bretner is known for her dedication to student success and her innovative teaching methods. Her favorite quote: "We are educators, we are born to make a difference." So, truly reflects her mission in the classroom. We are honored to learn from her experience, wisdom, and vision of education. Welcome to our podcast series.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mahrose. It's an honor to be here.
And I'm very thankful that you give your precious time to me. I know that it's very difficult to teach students, and you are a teacher because teaching doesn't mean that you have to go to school and just teach, because whole day you are thinking about how you educate your students. You are finding new methods to teaching students because you think that it's not just a little profession of teaching. Teaching profession is such a big, because you children future has in the hand of teacher. So now we are starting our podcast with some questions. So my first question is state, can you tell us about your journey into education and what inspired you to become a computer science instructor?
Well, I have to tell you that, believe it or not, I never wanted to be a teacher, ever, ever. I did not want to be a teacher. I was very interested in science and technology, worked in research science. And so I worked in laboratories and I love that. And I thought, I'm never going to be a teacher, ever, ever. And lo and behold, when I got married and had my own children, I decided that it would be the best profession to be able to balance being a mom and also having a career. Because those of you that know about technology and innovation and working in laboratories know that the work never stops. And so you're constantly and consistently working all the time. And so I would have to say I credit my own children for inspiring me, because I wanted to make sure that they understood the value of education and how important education is. And education is the launch pad to everything we do. Everything your viewers and your listeners are going to do is going to be geared on their education. And I wanted to inspire my children to be curious and to ask questions. That's where, of course, science starts. And I wanted them to be lifelong learners. So the best way I could do that was to become an educator. So I took my love for science, my love for technology, my love for mathematics and engineering, and I found out that I could become a STEM educator. And so I started doing my studies. I went to school. I did my master's degree. I did my doctorate. I did all of those things I needed to do. And then lo and behold, I got involved with NASA, of course, here in the United States. I'm broadcasting live from Florida. So I'm in the sunny state of Florida, way down in the southern part of the United States. And of course, we boast the Kennedy Space Center. So I thought, why not? They need educators. And I've worked with the Huntsville Alabama and space camp. And I just took all of that stuff, Mahrose, and rolled it into a ball and decided, lo and behold, I ended up in the classroom. So now, by day, I teach at Randall Middle School, and I teach not only STEM education, and I run for the community, for our community, the student space flight experiments. And believe it or not, we have 6-year and 7-year students that are getting ready to send up an investigation on the International Space Station. So it's very exciting. We do what we call Sea Perch, which is underwater robotics. So I run that program. And then I also teach science. And then by night, I'm a college professor. So very busy, but it ended up where I didn't want to become a teacher at all. Now all I do is teach all the time.
Wow, that's great. First, but which thing I have seen that you really love your children. You said that I became because I wanted to do like I become a model for my children. So I can see that how much you love your children, and of course that mom always love their children. And second thing, you said that you never wanted to be a teacher, but I can see that you are a good teacher because you are teaching those things which you really love to do, as you said, technology and these other things, and you are doing so well. I'm just amazing. I can say that your students are so lucky and special that have a teacher like you, and you are teaching them. So I want to ask you that you are teaching about technology and these sort of things. So in any which subject you really love to teach your students?
You know what? I found that it's really not the subject. Now, my favorites, of course, I have to think. They're making me think hard. You know what? My favorite of all time is Earth Space Science. And I love, because I want the students to know that we're only bound by the limitations of our imagination. That's it. And I want them to think outside the box. I want them to think beyond this world. Because we know that so much, going all the way back to Galileo and Copernicus, right? And all of those far long before us, that there is so much out there that we have not discovered. And I really, really, really want to inspire young people, especially, to think beyond the limitations of our own boundaries. So I want them to think beyond the limitation of our state, beyond the limitation of our country. I believe in global education. So what you do is so important, and I'm so honored to have met you. And I read a little bit about you and all you're doing and all you've created and discovered and the things you've done with your language app. It's amazing. And you're the reason I teach, because you're better than me. And if I can inspire other young people like yourself to think beyond their limitations and to think beyond this world, that's why I love Earth Space Science, because it's always changing. It's always new. There's always new discoveries. We're always getting new pictures from Mars and the planets and all of our telescopes. And that has to be by far my favorite. But of course, when you teach that, you've got to know chemistry, and you have to know biology, and you have to know physics, and all of those things are wrapped into it. And so for me, it's kind of the natural, it's a great science because it incorporates all the other sciences. So it allows me to expand and to help, to help others. And like I said, be curious and ask questions.
Oh, I can see that how much you love about learning more and more about space. That's why your friend also gave. because he connected
Yes,
me, and he also loves very space, and he was
yes,
member too about it. So that's why I can see that you both are friends and you are connected, and you are connected those people who is same feel like you.
right.
So Sir Gabe has visited Pakistan, and in our schools many there are many campus. He visited every campus. Recently he came in 2000, in the end of 2024. It was such a nice meetup with him,
Yes,
and he also give presentation that how they work on space with the help of a movie, a little bit movie, and we watched that they are also enjoy, and they're not just working, they're enjoying the, like, because environment something different, you are just flying in the air. So it was so amazing to see, and I'm very also happy because you can see that my name is Mahrose Technology Wali. My name is Maros, and technology wali is, you can be say that my wala and wali is a concept in our school, like in which field we work, which is connected in our name, Maros
right.
Technology Wali. If I do work on like environment, so I'm a Maros Environment Wali. So
Nice.
we just connect. So I'm also from Rehan School, which is the world first AI school. So I'm very happy to doing interview or podcast with you, that you are also technology lover and doing work on it. So my next question with you is, how has your experience been teaching both 6th and 8th grade students, and what unique challenges and rewards come with each grade level?
Well, you know what? It's Marosi, it's interesting because I am one of those educators. I've taught all grade levels. So the primary, which are the babies, and of course, that's very interesting, right? Because they're babies, right? The middle grades, what we call the middle grades, which is what I do now, then the upper grades, which of course in the States we call the high school. Um, I think that each level, there it has its challenges, right? But it also is very rewarding. I would say right now, um, the biggest challenge, it's interesting, the the students that I teach now, so the 6th year through the 8th year, the biggest challenge is their lack of confidence. They, and one of the things that I want them to leave my classroom knowing all the time is I want them to believe in themselves. Because I think because they're in their what we call the tween years, right? So they start, they're 12 and 13, and then they go to about 15, right? And those years are hard. Just developmentally, they're hard. And I think that that is a time when there's a lot of physiological changes. There's a lot of changes physically, mentally, socially, that um, they start to question themselves and they start to lose confidence. They become very self conscious, right? Where when they're littler, they don't care, right? Doesn't matter, right? Then they get in those middle grades and they struggle a little bit. And I apologize for my voice, but they struggle a little bit. And I want them to, so it's that lack of confidence. And that lack of confidence, um, what happens is I think they become a little bit of afraid. They become afraid. They're afraid to ask questions because they don't want to appear ignorant, right? They don't want to appear, as we would call it, dumb. And so they don't ask questions. And what I want them to know is that there's no dumb question, ever, ever. And then I want them to have the confidence to know that they are kind, that they're smart, that they're important, especially to me, but that we need them and that they're one in like, they're a miracle, right? The very essence of the stars, the same nitrogen, oxygen, calcium that make up the cosmos is in them. It's in you. So by that virtue, you're star stuff. You're amazing. And you're 1 in 4 quadrillion. Okay. And if you think about that, blows your mind. And I want them to know how precious they are. and how special they are. And I want them to step into that confidence, right? Because once they do that, then they're like, oh, yes, I have good ideas, like yourself. We know that I would also say another challenge, they're afraid to fail, right? And for me, to fail, the word fail means first attempt in learning, right? We
That's
all have
great.
to fail. It's first attempt in learning. And I know you, with everything you developed and all the things you're doing, I'm sure you hit roadblocks and challenges. But what do? It's not a failure if we learn from it. And that's what I want them to know, because a lot of times they get these failures, right? Or they hit a roadblock. And because of that lack of confidence, they quit. They stop. And I want them to know, don't do that. Keep going. Keep pushing forward, because a fail is just a first attempt in learning, and do it again. Think about Thomas Edison. Think about all the great scientists. Think about yourself, right? I know it just didn't happen the first time out. It never does, right? We have to learn. And that's what I want them to know. And so that's really the biggest challenge, is to get them over that hump so that they understand that. Once they do, the sky is not the limit, because we know there's footprints on the moon.
Um, Amazing, like about your thoughts, how you are saying it, about how much you love your students as well. You're saying that first means fail doesn't mean that it's just a aim. Fail means it's a sign that first attempt, and you will learn again and again. So it's a very, I see that not every teacher does these sort of things. Like some teachers, they understand and they love their children, they want their children to get success. And I can see that your voice is not good because you speak too much, because I know that as a teacher you have to speak again and again, describe it again and again. Single student, when they don't understand you, again and again you single them in
Exactly.
camera, you understand them again and again. So I know that it's difficult little bit, but if anyone loves their passion, so for them it's not a difficult. And you said the challenges, I said, I think that you will talk about your challenges, but actually you were talking about your student challenges, what they have to face. You talk that it's also your challenges, what's your problem. So it's very amazing to connect with you, and I'm very happy that your students in one day they will get success and they will make you proud that
I know
who
they do.
they you teach them. So my another question is with you, that you are currently teaching at Randall Middle School. So what makes this school environment special or different for you?
Well, I will tell you, it's the students and the families that make it. And the school really is very committed to STEM education. So for me, it's a great fit. And I want to be in an environment that supports science, the use of technology, engineering, and math. And at Randall Middle School, we've got so many robotics programs, underwater robotics. We do the student space flight experiments. We're working with coding and technology. And so even our sixth graders are learning the digital arts. I'm going to call them digital arts. And they're learning the languages that you need to create these apps and to create, obviously, things like you've done. And for me, that's the future, right? So that's the future, Mahrose, is technology. We have to embrace technology. It's so important, right? And one of the things that I love about Randall is that every day, not only myself, but all my colleagues, our administrators, the students, the families, they're all about embracing that technology, really growing as a community, growing as a school, growing as individuals. The other thing that I think makes Randall special is, I would say, if you ask me what kind of educator I am, I would say I'm a global educator. And that's really how Mr. Gabe and I came to know each other. And we've worked all over the world. So I work with Janet Ivy of Janet's Planet. Shout out to her, Gabriel. And you know what? We've traveled all over the United States. We've been to Norway. We've been to Trinidad and Tobago. I know that Gabe's traveled extensively. Miss Janet's been to the African continent and South Africa. And we've got such a network of educators. And the one thing that I will tell you is that we are more alike than we are different. And so often people think that if we're not from the same country or we don't have maybe the same religious views or cultural views, that makes us different. And you know what? We're not. We're not. We are more alike. And that passion and that love for learning, everywhere I've traveled, everywhere Gabe has traveled, everywhere Janet has traveled, what we have found is people like yourself that love learning. And you and my students and the students all over the world, your viewers, are those that inspire me. They inspire Gabe. They keep us young, if you will. And you're the reason that we do what we do. And so I need to say thank you to you. But I love that what you're doing, because you're opening the world to educators from around the world. And I get to meet you and your viewers. And I want you to know that I am honored to be here today.
Oh, so you have been in a number of countries like Cape. So
Yes.
I just want to say you, if you ever will become in Pakistan,
I
so
want to come next time. I'm going to tell Gabe next time he comes, I'm going to come.
okay, I'm
I'm
very
going to
happy if
come.
you come with him in visiting. So I invite you to come in my Rehan school, our Munawar campus. There are many branches. I am from Munawar campus. I invite you, and I will be very happy and thankful if you come. We will welcome you, and we will honor you that if you come, and you will see that how our school children are studying, because you also related to technology, and our school is
Yes,
also based AI artificial. So it would be great meeting, and you know about it more how that we are learning in Pakistan
I
here.
love it.
So okay, so how many countries you have been?
I have been, I've spent extensive time in Trinidad and Tobago, which of course is just off the coast of Venezuela. I've had the pleasure of going into Europe. I've done actually work in Norway. So Norway and up in Norway and Denmark and Sweden. I've been to Mexico and done work, of course, which is just south of the US. And then I've also had the honor and pleasure to go to Venezuela. Where I have never been is to your country. And I would be honored to come and be a guest, because I guarantee you, you know what? You could teach me far more than I could ever teach you.
I will also learn a number of things from you if you will come. I'm very happy. Inshallah, one day you will come and we meet and we exchange our knowledge, share our knowledge. It's very good idea to learning from other people's, and we are far, but technology make us to near, and
Exactly.
internet make us, and which we are learning. So I'm very happy that today you are giving me interview. And so I just our last question is that, as a computer science teacher, how do you keep your curriculum aligned with the rapidly changing tech landscape?
You know what? I have to do my homework all the time, all the time. And so when you said, you're wise beyond your years, my darling. Um, Teaching never stops. So even though I leave the classroom at night, I have to do research. And I'm constantly reading journals and the current research and trying to keep up with, and I take classes myself. So, throughout, whether they're offered online, of course, now again, like you said, technology brings the world closer. And I love that. And it also allows me to take classes from organizations in Europe, organizations from all over the United States. No matter where it is, I can actually get online and then I can take classes. And then I take what I learn and I take it back to the classroom. And that's really how I keep myself abreast. I do a lot with reading, not just online, but making sure the technology journals, reading the journals, reading the experts that are at our universities all over the world. Right, the new inventions, the things that they're coming up with, the new use of AI. Right, AI in the classroom is huge. Right, and I'm very, very interested, and hopefully this year I'm going to be going to Norway to do a talk for the universities there about integrating.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I love it. To integrate AI into our classrooms so that we can learn how to use it to our advantage, use it to our benefit. So it takes a lot of reading, when I say to my students, again, this goes back to our first conversation, your first question. I wanted my own children to be lifelong learners. Well, I have to model that. So guess what? I'm always learning, always reading, always doing research so that when my students ask me, I can go, oh, you know what? Guess what I just read? Guess what look at this journal or look at what I found online, on the internet. And so that's really how I keep up with things.
So amazing. That's why I said that teaching doesn't mean that you just go and write in box and it just your work is finished. You have to do study first.
Right.
You have to search about, and then you get more knowledge from many places, and then you filter it, and then you teach your student. So that's why I'm
Exactly.
saying the biggest profession is teaching, like to bear, to face difficulties, to understand again and again a student until they don't get. So that's why I said today our interview was so amazing. I'm very happy that I said you to give me your precious 20 minutes, and it's about to 30 minutes. And I'm very thank you so much, you Cam. We are so far, but you connected and you say yes, okay, I'm ready to give you interview. uh, it's my second interview with foreign people.
Nice.
First with Sergey, and
Yes.
he connected me to you because I don't know many people. So I asked him that is anybody your friend or someone I can do interview and love to connect with them. So then he shares some IDs, sorry, some email. So then I email you, and I also want you that if you're any students, your kid and anyone want to be connect with me, do an interview. So we will discuss and we share our knowledge. Let me share a little bit myself too, because you don't know so much about me. My name is Mahrose Technology Wali. As you know that I'm the student of Rehan School, which is world first AI school, and we're learning so many things here. But a part of this thing, I am public speaker. I just started my podcast series in physical in Urdu, but like as many good peoples like you are so far, so I do with you in StreamYard, like many
Right.
people out of cities and countries. So
Nice.
I do with them in StreamYard. A part of this thing, I go for speeches and presentations in TV channels, and I am also learning technical things like video editing. I edit podcasts, reels, making YouTube thumbnails, because I have my own YouTube channel.
I
It's
know.
named Super Sitaray because I made a channel for kids. So its
Great.
name is Super Sitaray because kids are like a star. So I suggest this name Super Sitaray. And learning coding with AI, and I developed many things, but I made calculator in Sindhi language. In Pakistan, the Sindhi language speaks too much. Sindhi language. So many people love it and appreciate it too much. It got very famous, and I was just amazed what happened. And I made it, and many TV channels came, give me interview. You become celebrity, and
Yeah.
it's like such a amazing for me that because I made something unique. Because if you search on Google who made first Sindhi calculator, so Google say Mahrose made first Sindhi
Yes.
calculator, because this is a new thing, so people really love it, appreciate it. That's why I want to learn more, so I'm connected with more people who loves to explore and related to education and technology. Once again, thank you so much. I hope that you connect with me, more people like you, like a student, mostly students, so we can learn from another country, exchange our ideas, sharing knowledge, whatever I can help them study and what they can be exchange. And really, it's a really, you say, a nice experience to learn. So thank you so much, Miss. You gave me time.
You're welcome, my darling. And just keep being fantabulous.
Thank you so much, friends. Inshallah, we will meet with another foreign peoples and two interesting podcasts. Thank you so much.